Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Acer Aspire 5 model N19C3. So we're going to be using a JAS1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. The customer told me they actually opened it up and disconnected the battery already because it had a liquid spill, so I guess we'll see what it looks like inside. Alright, you want to keep all the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So you got 4, 3, and 3. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove all these screws. If this video helps you out, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. That's not just something I say. If you can actually do that, that'd be really helpful. Alright, I know a lot of times people say that stuff and then people just like blank out. But it does really help, so please consider doing that if this video helps you. Alright, so anyways, we almost got all the screws out. Look at the last one here. Alright, and let's go ahead now and open up the screen. There's a gap here. We'll see if we can pop it out this way. Usually I can get my fingernails in and then pop it, but I might have to start from the back side. Let's see, how is this designed? Or maybe even a suction cup. Let's try suction cup first. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna have to pry it out. Okay, so let's try this. Fingernails in the gap there, and then I'm gonna push with my thumb on the palm rest. All right, you don't want to push on the touchpad area, but we're going to push the palm rest, so let's go ahead and try that just like this. And it looks like these clips are super strong, so let's see, flip it this way. I don't see anything that will make it easier. Just get my fingernail in there and try and pop it. Nope, nowhere. Oh, there we go. We found a way to pop a little bit. Now hopefully we can just pull that up and then run my fingernail or a pry tool along the side edges, and you can hear it's popping. There we go. Alright, we're gonna work our way along this side here. Same thing. Alright, be careful with where you pry for the vent there. You don't want to break that plastic piece. Okay, we're gonna continue prying out. Okay, again at this corner, and I think we got it all out. Also, there's a battery reset little hole here. You can use a little pin to push that to reset the battery. Okay, this front part's a little bit stuck, so I'm going to hold the bottom casing and then I'm going to wiggle it like this, and hopefully that will release. There we go. And there's the inside. Okay, we're going to set that aside, and here you can see the customer did disconnect this. Hopefully they didn't damage it in any way, but it looks like it's good. Alright, we're going to remove the battery now. 2 screws holding it in place. Actually, let's get a thumbnail here. So we'll just line this up. The customer said they had some water spill into the keyboard area, so they want me to open it up and check and make sure everything's okay. Alright, we're going to remove this screw here. I do see some corrosion already, so I have a feeling it's not going to be good, but we'll see. Okay, 2 screws for the battery it looks like, and I don't know if there's a hidden one, but let's see if we can lift it up so you can, pull it up there and slide it out this way, and there we go. So that's the battery model numbers right there, AP, come on, focus, AP19B5L. Alright, there we go. Okay, and this looks absolutely fried. You can even see like black stuff in there. So I think this thing's dead. I'll try and clean it off a little. Sometimes people get lucky and it's just the water kind of oxidizes really fast when electricity flows through it. It oxidizes the metals and then makes them rusty so that they don't work right. And sometimes it runs so much power through that it burns. So you can see that component, this component area, I cleaned that up with a toothbrush and it looks a lot better, but I don't think it's gonna work. Alright, anyways, this is the little button here that goes through the push hole. We're gonna press and hold that for about 15 seconds. Okay, and this kind of acts as a battery disconnect. We can also disconnect the CMOS BIOS battery. We are going to have to remove that, or disconnect that to remove the motherboard here to test everything. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I use the wings with my fingernail, and then I just grab it and wiggle it, and just keep wiggling and pulling and wiggling, and it should eventually walk itself out. Wow, this one's stubborn. There we go. Okay. So now what we're going to do to make sure the battery is all drained out, we'll open it up and we'll press the power button for about 15 seconds, all right? Let's hold that down. Okay. Just keep holding it. Okay, and that's plenty time. All right, so let's go ahead and continue removing lots of other connectors. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. There's 2 slots for RAM, only one's being used. You can pull these tabs to the side and this pops up, then you can pull that out. This is a PC4 3200 AA stick of RAM. It's a 8 gig stick. You can add another 8 gig stick of PC4 3200 AA RAM to get 16 gigs total. Though if you want, usually it's best to have matching sticks, so don't get like a 16 gig stick to go with this. It won't run as well, but you can get 2 16 gig sticks if you want. All right, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and pull the LCD LVDS connector out. Very important that you disconnected the main battery and then open the laptop and press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds before removing this. Okay, we're gonna wiggle the wings and hopefully we can get this out without just ripping my nails, because this seems like it's stuck in there real good. Is there adhesive on top? No. Okay, so this connector is just really strong, stuck in there. Oh, one side, there we go. Okay, so there's the connector we got out. There's the DC jack charge port connector here, also with the little wings. Can wiggle that, and there we go. Get that out. And this cable's really short. I don't know why they made it so short there. Can I pull this charge port out here? Might need better pliers to do this because this one is not designed for this, but okay, let me see. So we have access to this little plastic piece that's winged out, and there we go. It looks like that works to get that out. We'll set that aside. Okay, we got an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here, one screw holding it in place. Remove that, it'll pop up, all right, and then you can go ahead and pull that out. Again, hopefully you guys are keeping all the screws in order, because you don't want to mix them up and then end up putting the wrong one in the wrong place and cause damage. All right, there's the left speaker here. It's upside down, so it's on the right side right now. Okay, and then you got the other speaker is plugged into this little board here, and that little board has a USB port, and then it connects to the motherboard here. We technically only need to disconnect that one, since we're going to check the water damage on the motherboard. I don't think there's going to be water damage on here, but we can take, oops, sorry, let me zoom out. But we can take this board out as well. It is trapped underneath the 2.5-inch SATA hard drive connector or caddy here. So we're going to remove the 2 screw, or I guess the 4 screws holding this in place. Okay, and there's a little connector here if you want to add a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive or SSD. You have that option here. So it's nice to have all this included. This screw is holding this board, and then there's this little cable that looks like it plugs in down here. So it's interesting that they put this here, because it looks like when you connect it, you actually want it to go this way. And so it will plug into the hard drive this way, and you have this little cable that one side will go here, the HDD side, and then the MB side will go into here. Okay, but yeah, for now we're just gonna put that back. Did I flip it upside down weird? Okay, so it goes like that. Okay, so we should now be able to take that out. Good. And then let's lift this board and just see if there's any damage. I'm not going to disconnect these cables unless I need to remove it. And nope, it looks fine. This looks like it should have room for a SD card slot, but they didn't put one there, so that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I don't know why they didn't use that. Okay, so we'll put this screw back. I think it was up here. Hopefully I'm not putting it in the wrong spot. I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay. Then we'll get this little bracket back into place. Okay, and we'll get this guy back in place. And let's get these screws back in. Okay. Alright, the screen is relatively easy to remove. There's the wireless antennas going in. You have to unroute that. If you want to remove the screen, usually I open the laptop to about 90 degrees, hang the screen off the edge of the desk, and then undo the hinge screws, so that way you can lift the screen out. Otherwise, you'll have to be able to pry the hinges up before you can remove the screen from the base. But I'm not going to mess with that. Okay, we got two wireless antennas here, white one to the white arrow, black one to the black arrow. Let me zoom in a bit more. Basically, the way I remove these is I go from the tail, and then I just pull straight up, try and go as close as you can, and then just pull straight up just like that. All right, and then the black wire, same idea. Grab close to the tail and pull straight up. There we go. All right, we got the keyboard backlight connector here. We're going to flip this latch up, and then you can pull this out. You got the keyboard connector here. We got this latch. You got to slide this back just like that. Then you can go ahead and pull that out. All right, you got the touchpad or trackpad connector here, which connects underneath the keyboard connector there. Flip that latch, pull that out. You might have to wiggle it. It's kind of stuck. There we go. Looks like we got all of those out, and I think that's all we need to disconnect. We can take the fan out here. It is plugged in right there. So let's see if the fan comes out separately without having to remove everything else. So that way, if for some reason your fan is bad, you can just pull this out. Okay, so those two screws, let's disconnect the connector by wiggling the wings. And yes, the fan can easily be removed. There's some adhesive there, but yeah, fan can easily be removed. And the model number is this really long thing there, if you can even read that. Nope, it's a DFS 541105FC0T. All right, hopefully you guys can figure that out. Usually what I do is I just look for the laptop model, and then I look for a fan that looks like this same design. All right, so you don't need to have the actual fan model number. Okay, let's go ahead and remove the screws holding the motherboard in place. Some models will have a dedicated GPU mounted right here, so keep that in mind. All right, the screws that go to the motherboard do have little arrows pointing to them, so you can kind of keep track of where you took screws out from. So there's one there, and then there's one in this corner here. I think there's not many screws holding this motherboard in place, so let's see, can we lift it now? Is there a hidden one somewhere? I think that's it. So let's go ahead and carefully lift this. It looks like you have to lift it at an angle this way. Okay, so we'll grab from this side and we'll carefully lift it up. Then we'll grab closer here, and there we go. Okay, and it looks like there's some liquid damage underneath as well. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it's like kind of white, powdery, fuzzy. All right, so we're gonna try and brush that and clean that up. And I think other than that, there's like little bits of dust all around the board. But for the most part, the rest looks clean. So if it didn't burn these components out and they just got corroded and shorted temporarily, then we might be lucky and it might power on. So let's see. Let's also clean up this a little bit, because why not, since we have it open. Okay. There we go. All right. So now to find out if we're lucky or if they're screwed. Okay. I'm going to put this thing back into place. Maybe brush this up a little bit more. Okay. And we're going to go in at an angle like this. All right. And we'll slowly lower this down. Okay, get all these cables back on top. Make sure they don't get trapped underneath. Okay. All right, so we got that, got all of those, and I think that's about it. All right, let's put the two screws that were holding it down back into place. That one here. And this one over here. Okay, and then we'll start reassembling everything. Got the fan, we can put that back in, just drop it down into place. And then get this connector back in. Line it up. And then pull the wings. I like to pinch both the connector and the part on the board together. Alright, then we'll get these two screws back in. Got this screw. Alright, we got this cable. We'll get that back in. There's some dust in there. Okay. That one in. Put that latch down. Alright, then we got the white and black cables. So white one will go in first. Alright, put that down. And we got the black wire. Line that up. Clip that down. Alright, what else? We got the DC jack or charge port. I'm gonna line that up. We can go ahead and actually plug this in first. I think it might be easier. Make sure if you get a replacement that you have it the same way with the metal pins faced up showing. The other side, it's completely solid plastic. Okay, at least I hope that's the right way. Yeah. Okay, pinch that into place. And then get this lined back up and push that down. Perfect. Alright, LCD LVDS connector here. Get this lined up. It's very important that if you for some reason accidentally plugged in the battery before plugging this cable in, you want to do the power drain again, okay? Don't plug that in or unplug that without draining the power first. Alright, we got the CMOS BIOS battery here. You can plug that in whenever. Okay. That in and pinch that into place. Here we go. The speaker, line that up, pinch that into place. Okay, we got the touchpad, trackpad cable here. Line that up and get that in. Latch that down. Alright, keyboard connector. We're going to slide this into place. Okay, slide that in. And then, yep. Alright, then pinch that in. Then we got the keyboard backlight cable. Pull that back, line that up. Get that in. Okay, flip that latch down. Okay, all that's left now, I think, is to put the battery back in and hope for the best. Alright, so we got the battery here. We got everything else. Oh, don't forget the SSD. I almost forgot that. Okay, get that. Go in slightly at an angle. Kind of wiggle and push it in. There we go. Line it up. Get that screw back in. Okay. Get the battery in. Put this bottom side in first. Lower it down. Okay. Get the two screws back in to hold it. Alright, we'll get the battery reconnected. Line it up and pinch it in. Okay, looks like it's all into place. You can put the tape back down. Let's open up the screen and it's showing the battery light here for some reason. Let's push the power button and this is lighting up. The keyboard's lighting up. Is anything going to come on the screen? We did disconnect the CMOS BIOS battery, so sometimes when you do that, it takes a while for it to start back up. So far, keyboard's lit up, and we have Acer, so that's a good sign. That's also a good sign. So we might be good to go. We do need to test the keyboard and everything. Sometimes it might do that, and then it might blue screen or have some issues if the motherboard is actually faulty. But it looks like it's working, like it's booting into their, oh, they don't have a password, so it's auto logging into their account. Okay, I'm going to test the keyboard now by opening Notepad. And so far, it looks to be working okay. So, quick brown fox jumps over the lazy, oops, dog, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, dash, plus, bracket, bracket, this dash, these, What else? Test the one shift, test the other shift, caps lock, working, tabs working, enters working, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, period, enter, minus, plus, numlock. Now it's working as arrows, perfect, asterisk, dash. What about the, I don't know, to test the F1s and stuff. Control Shift Escape opens up Task Manager, good. And I think tilde, I think all the keys seem to be working. Alt Tab, that works. Alt Tab on this side. Control A works. Control X over here works. Windows key worked. Let's see, Control V. Let's try, oops, Control V, there we go. And this works as right click, so up, down, right, left. I think all the keys are working, so I think we are good to go. Luckily, the board wasn't completely fried on here. We're gonna shut this down, and then we are going to put the bottom cover back on, and we should be good to go. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, if it did, please make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. I get a lot of people telling me I saved their life, I saved their day, I'm a goat, I'm whatever. But words are all nice, but it doesn't help me pay the bills. So if you can, please contribute. If you think it's embarrassing to send like 5 cents, don't be, because 5 cents is better than 0. And if everybody that thought like a penny or whatever was nothing or embarrassing to sent me a penny, I'd be making lots of money. So it'd be very useful if I helped you, if you feel like it's worth something to you, if you can send a little my way. But yeah, if you can't, it'd be very helpful also if you can watch several of my other videos and just comment on them, like them, and yeah, YouTube likes to see that. So anyways, we're gonna get all these screws back in, and that's pretty much it. This computer seems to be fixed. All right, so yeah. Anyways, other than that, you're welcome to stay as I get the rest of these screws in, and yeah, we're good to go. Last 3 screws. Okay, this one. And last one here. Alright, there we go. Flip that over, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. Drop this, bye.